You guys, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. June 13th. Oh my gosh.
Can you believe it's flying by?
You can tell school's out a lot. I'm watching. Yep. Yes.
You're seeing the youth in the audience?
I'm watching young people more and more show up. Not that we have anything wrong with people our age. Just saying, I'm noticing some of you are with your kids. So welcome. Hi. Yes.
It was always the worst. It was always the worst when you were growing up and your friends who went to different schools were getting out before you. I never understood why they would get out before you. Boo to them.
Yeah. You know, 2 years in a row now, my kids have gotten out of school. Usually they're done by now, and they're still in school until Thursday. So they don't know what to make of it, and I really don't know what to make of it, because I usually get tired of sending them to school at a certain point. I wear down.
You wear down before they do.
I'm so worn down. I'm really worn down. This morning I said to Joaquin, he's got a science exam today, his science final exam. And by the way, he's graduating on Friday. So what difference at this point does it really make? Right? What are they going to do? Not let him in high school? So I say, do you want me to go review your stuff with you? And he goes, what's that supposed to mean? Why are you trying to make me so nervous? And I go, all right, calm down. What I meant to say is, want some eggs?
Are you good? Because I don't have kids, but I fear having them for that moment when they ask me to help them with things that I forgot that I learned a long time ago, like the periodic table, whatever else it is in the
Oh, no, I don't know anything. I just have the answers in front of me.
So you just review. You just review the material.
Yeah, I have no idea what any of it means.
Because I would always say when I was a kid, if my parents didn't know the answer and I asked them without the answers, I would say, well, if you don't know it, why do I have to know it?
Right. But they did know it when they were your age. They've forgotten. By the way, they got burdened with being a grown-up.
And as time goes on, we can't remember what we did yesterday, so let alone what we did in elementary and high school.
I literally can't remember yesterday.
I was speaking to my dad this morning, and he's watching in Atlanta. I feel terrible because my mom told me a couple days ago they went on a little weekend with Jack and Suzanne, this couple that they've known for a long time, and they went to go play tennis. And I gave my father these shoes that I thought were tennis shoes. I said they were tennis shoes. Turns out they were trainer shoes, and you're not supposed to play tennis in them.
What does that mean?
Well, he was running to the net to hit a ball, and his shoes just stopped. They didn't slide or skid, they just stopped, and he fell forward onto his hand. And so she takes him to a Braves game on Sunday, big outing, baseball, many hours occupied. The Braves lose to the Mets, so he's frustrated by that. So this morning, I talked to him, and he said, would you mind asking Kelly or the audience if they have any ideas for what you can do to occupy your time when your hand is essentially out of it?
Yes. Let's see. Oh, my gosh. There's so many things you can do with one hand.
Well, it was his left hand, Gelman.
So is that his non-dominant hand?
That's his non-dominant hand, but I guess the thing is you really aren't supposed to have a lot of physical activity, so... So
they don't want him just doing like a one-armed bike thing?
No, I said, can you stationary bike? He can't do that either.
He can't stationary bike?
Not yet. No, not for 5 weeks.
Oh, my gosh.
If you have suggestions, the inbox, please.
Do you, what's your dad's name?
His name is Gary.
Gary
Lee.
Gary Lee.
Gary Lee Seacrest.
Gary, would you consider taking pills? Because Art Moore has a pocket full of miracles.
I knew this was an art cue.
He does. He has a pocket full of... I don't know.
It's the worst when you have an injury like that, and you hurt your back or your shoulder, you sneeze, it hurts.
Yes.
You're out of commission.
What he needs to do is start... what about... does he do crossword puzzles?
There you go.
Crossword puzzles.
Put it on the list. Baseball games, crossword puzzles.
Well, crossword puzzles will keep his mind sharp, and it's something for him to do with his dominant hand that doesn't require physical activity. Or he could binge watch this
Orange
show,
is the New Black. Yeah. So if you have any ideas, feel free to tweet them or email us.
Let us know what you think. I was going to say, I was going to say knitting, but that takes 2 hands, decidedly.
And I think that would frustrate him more, knitting.
Yeah, but it frustrates you in a good way.
Oh, gosh.
You know what I mean? I took up knitting, and I loved it. I took up knitting when I was pregnant, and I loved it.
Golf knitting, things I hope I never do.
What about just walking? Can he go for walks?
He's not supposed to walk much. It's supposed to be, you know, not exercise, slow walk.
Does he have to keep his arm
Yeah,
elevated?
I guess you sleep like this, which, how do you sleep?
Just like this. This is how I sleep.
Just like that? I sleep on...
Oddly enough, I sleep like this. That's how cool I am.
That's how cool
I am.
The champion sleeps like this. I sleep on my stomach with my hand here and my leg here and my arm here, and I clutch a pillow. And I was lonely for many years.
I got it.
And so I still am used to clutching that pillow like it's my one and only. And the doctor says that's a terrible way to sleep.
It's
that's going to cause problems.
Well, it causes all sorts of problems, and most importantly, facial wrinkles.
Let's get our priorities in line.
Yeah, I mean, I used to definitely be sort of a in the fetal position on my face sleeper, and then my dermatologist said you're going to give yourself wrinkles that way. So I now sleep essentially like a corpse. I mean,
in your cocoon.
And on a satin pillowcase, because satin pillowcases, ladies, in case you didn't know this, which I learned probably 5 years too late, is not only good for your hair, preserving your hairstyle, it also prevents wrinkles. So, satin pillowcase. There. You're welcome.
I find satin sheets and pillowcases to look great in the movies, but they're just not practical. A lot of slipping.
Yes, I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying...
With my one pillow. We slip all over the place.
Just a pillowcase for your hair. Just for your
Got it,
hair
okay.
and for your wrinkles.
Got it.
And if you don't like to travel with your own pillow, you can bring, they have like travel satin, like a satin slip over that you can just put on your hotel pillow. Just, you're welcome. FYI. These are things
These are tips. These are things we'll learn.
Your dad is right now watching this show saying, how did this become about her hair? See how I did that? Magic.
Wrinkles and her hair.
Yeah. Anyway, so, yeah, I was telling you last night, my son is graduating 8th grade and he's going to a new high school. I went to his new high school parent cocktail party last night and met all the other new parents, saw all the new incoming parents, and then you have like a sponsor parent, another parent who's been in the school for a while, and they introduce you, they greet you, and then they take you around and introduce you to all the other, teachers and administrators, and it was really nice.
And what's the idea is to get to know the other parents? To
get to know the other parents, the newcomers, so that you don't feel so lonely, so that maybe your kids can have a play date. They don't call them play dates anymore, Mom. A hang out over the summer.
Do you judge the other parents?
Judge is a really...
Do you evaluate the other parents?
I don't think, not yet.
They're evaluating you, I'm sure.
I don't think I think you're so nervous. It's like being the new kid.
It's like auditioning.
As parents, you are also the new kids at the new school, so I think you're too nervous to judge anybody. I'll save that for September.
Right.
Yeah,
we're just warming them up.
Yeah.
So I told Kelly this story yesterday, and I'm going to tell you this story. It's a little embarrassing, consider I work in the music business.
The greatest story ever, and so also the worst story ever.
Exactly. So when you see someone, but you're not quite sure if you've met them, you see them at a party, you think you recognize them, but you're not, they're out of context. I'm having dinner, we're in Miami over the weekend, I'm having dinner, and there's a group called One Republic, and the lead singer isn't there, but the guys are there from the group. And I nod, I say hi, and I walk over and say, hey, Eddie, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. How's everything? Great. What are you guys up to? Well, we're in town, they say, to open for U2. I said, that's fantastic. That's amazing. Good for you. They're playing? Yeah, they're playing tomorrow night. Oh, how great. I can't go. I have to leave to be back here. So I sit down with Shayna, and a bottle of sake comes to the table as a gift.
Incredible.
I said to the waitress, well, who is this from? She says, well, next to you, that's One Republic, and beyond them, it's One Direction.
You guys, all the ones were in the house.
So I said, so One Direction sent us the sake? Yeah. So I say to Shane, well, I've got to go over there and say hi to the guys. I look through the restaurant. doesn't really look like One Direction. They appear to look a little older than One Direction. I've met all those Directioners.
But you know, Hollywood ages people.
It does. So I walk over to the table and I say, hey, thanks so much, doesn't look like One Direction still, for the sake. That was so nice of you. So you guys are in town. Are you going to go to the U2 show? They're opening for him. Guy looks up at me. He's got a hat on. He says to me, we are U2. Now, I know what Bono looks like. Bono wasn't there. The Edge wasn't there. The original guys weren't there. Or if they were out of context. But it turns out I've heard
it 3 times now and it never gets old.
I went back to the table and I said, does not look like, they said they're U2, they don't look. Turns out it was Mark, the tour manager, but to make me feel awful, he said, we are U2. Still,
well, that's a dirty, filthy trick.
it's a foot in mouth, for sure.
No, you should not be expected to remember everybody all the time out of context.
Crew. So, I'm trying to get tickets to the show if anybody's got them.
Do you remember years and years ago when I first joined this show, Michael Eisner was then the CEO
running Disney.
Of Disney. And I had just joined the show, and there was a big party. I think he had written a book. I think a book had come out. And I was invited to this party. And and this is a context moment. This is truly a context moment. I walked over to him and I said, congratulations, this is so great, thanks for having me. And he says, how do we know each other? And I said, oh, and I had met him several times before, but I know that people that are very busy and meet lots of people can't remember everyone. And I said, oh, I work at Regis and Kelly. And he goes, what do you do there? And I said, and so now I'm like, is this a trick question? And I said, I'm Kelly. And he said, oh my gosh, you know, I did not recognize you without your, and he sort of drifted off. And I said, without my coffee cup and my co-host?
It's true, when you see people, like even if you go to work and you see people in a suit and tie every day, then you see them at the gym, they don't look like the same people. They could be you too.
Yeah. That is 100% true.
It's true.
That is 100. Remember last week when I bumped into you on the street and I
didn't even recognize each other?
No, we did not recognize each other on the street outside of the building.
This woman's looking at me, I'm looking at her, I'm going to say hi, I'm not going to say hi. She pulls down her glasses, she goes, Seacrest, I thought you were a woman.
I did. I thought he was a lady from Soul Cycle. Because you were wearing like a Soul Cycle costume.
Not a Soul Cycle costume, not a spinning costume. I was in my camouflage hoodie and my workout sweats. I looked like I was going to get my pump on.
You look like a lady from Soul Cycle.
I'm trying.
It was my favorite moment, though, when we did not recognize each other.
If we're walking today, there's incredible heat once again in New York City.
Love it, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it.
And you get the back sweat, and you get the mustache sweat, and you get the pit sweat. You do? You like it?
I love sweat that I didn't earn. You know what I mean? Don't you love sweat that you didn't earn?
Because you're burning calories. You didn't have to work for it.
You're shedding a full layer of yourself. Now, I realize, Mark always says to me, he goes, you do realize that once you drink some water, you put your layer that you just shed back on. I go, I don't care. I don't need to drink water right away.
Yeah,
I can wait.
This is what I didn't have to work for.
Yeah.
So I was talking about the heat backstage, and I was handed these.
What is that?
Well, do you know what these are?
Are they for your armpits?
Apparently, I've never seen these before. They're armpit pads. So if you have sweaty pits, you put these on your clothes when you're on TV, when you're walking through the park, whatever. And you go to a party, and I don't, because people sweat, right? You drink coffee, you sweat, and you have armpit sweat. You're supposed to put these inside your clothes. Yeah.
I want to try it. I just want to see, like, what would this, because I did, you know what I did? I got Botox under my armpits so that when I went to red carpet things, I wouldn't have, like, pit stains under the...
You got Botox under your armpits as well?
That was the gateway. The armpits were first, and then I was like, and if you have any extra, put it into my face.
It's the gateway Botox.
So this is, yeah, see, this is why Botox for a red carpet event is better.
It's not great, yeah.
Because
yeah.
this doesn't look right.
I mean, it's subtle, Ripa, but I think
is this more for men with suits?
I think it's to put inside your clothes. Sure. Yeah.
You just got to tear it off. You just got to tear it off.
Yeah, so...
How absorbent is it? Oh, my gosh. Oh. Well, I mean...
I think it does the trick for a lot of things.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's called an armpit pad. Pit pad.
Pit pad? Did you just make that up? I feel like you just made it up.
Or an armpit waxer. Well...
okay, so listen to this. Listen. This is, I just want to point this out to the ladies in the audience because I've been looking for a new swimsuit this year, and I keep saying that I've entered the one-piece phase of my life. Now I'm all about the one piece. A few years ago, I was all about the bikini. Now I'm all about the one piece. And I think I have found a one piece that speaks to my personality fundamentally. It's $44, and it's the body of a hairy man.
That is confusing.
Yeah, that's all painted on. That's not her nipples. That's not her hair. But isn't that cool? It's like a dad bod. It's a dad bod one piece. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. I am getting it. Let's see.
That is...
You don't like it?
I know the one piece is the trend for this summer, but that is just confusing the heck out of me.
I'm gonna get it and put it on, and you tell me what you think. I think it's adorable. I think I will rock this. This is my personality.
That's your personality?
No, this is my personality. I'm just a fella with a dad bod in my mind.
I'm just a fella with a hairy stomach.
I'm just a tiny fella with a dad bod. That's all. That's it. $44, you guys. Where else are you going to find a one-piece You tell me if you can do better than $44 for a hairy dad bod one piece.
That's a lot of hair on the stomach, Kelly.
I liked it.
Oh, all right. No one's going to stop you. You're the boss.
I'll try it on you.
How do you think your husband would feel about that?
Oh, you know, at this point,
he has no hair.
He's been married. He has no hair. He's got chest hair.
He does?
It's just the right amount.
Okay,
yeah,
just a little sprinkle.
He's been married for 21 years, so he knows when to just sort of look away and, you know, he's all about self-preservation at this point. So if I put that on, he'll just say, you know, it's only you. You know, that's he'll say something. Say something like...
We look forward to the vacation photos with you in that bathing suit.
Guess what? I'm going to put it on, too. Hey, we got a huge show today. Kate McKinnon is here.
Enzo Aduba is with us from Orange is the New Black.
Yes, and it's time for Summer Seas Travel Trivia. A New York City lady.
Yeah,
That's Ann Nonemacher? No. Yes, I said it right?
You did.
Okay. New York, New York.
And we've got Judy White from Alameda, California on the phone. Judy, how are you in California?
Oh, just fine. Good morning.
Well, good morning. What are you up to today?
Well, we're going to take off for a couple of days up to Marin County.
Oh, fun. That's
beautiful up there.
Right.
I see in your picture you're in Vegas, right?
Oh, right, yes.
Did you win?
I'm a high roller.
Did you win?
No, didn't play.
Well, today's your lucky day. You're going to win something today. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, what do we have, Kel?
The Manchester Grand Hyatt in San Diego, California.
Santiago.
Just a hop, skip, and a jump from Alameda. I don't know if that's true even.
That's not far.
7 days, 6 nights. It includes a $900 food and beverage credit, a couple's massage. This trip is provided in part by Hotels California. It's a prize valued at $5,400. You have 20 seconds and only one guess. Good luck, Judy.
Thank you.
Okay, here we go. On yesterday's show, we talked with Titus Burgess. In what Broadway musical did Titus say he originated the role of Sebastian?
Was it Good Vibrations?
No, it was The Little Mermaid. Oh, sorry about that.
It's amazing because you referenced, Judy, the musical that he said he was in that nobody ever saw.
So
Which is kind of amazing. You're paying attention.
You're better than this. You're better than this.
Yes.
So now you and a lucky member of our studio audience will each receive a $500 gift certificate from Lord and Taylor. So you've got that anyway. Please pick a number between 1 and 235.
I'll take lucky number 13.
13.
13. Yes, there you go. Coming up next, Kate McKinnon is here. We'll be right back.
Still ahead on Live from Orange is the New Black, Uzo Aduba. We'll open up Kelly and Ryan's inbox to have your comments and questions. Coming up next, Kate McKinnon.
From the series Orange is the New Black, Taylor Schilling will be here.
Yes, very exciting. A performance by Sabrina Carpenter as well.
Yes, and from the series Younger, Sutton Foster is here. Very exciting. Now, whether she's portraying Hillary Clinton, Kellyanne Conway, or Justin Bieber, she's always spot on. Please welcome the very funny, the very talented Kate McKinnon.
That was pretty remarkable.
You just outdid yourself.
And I felt a lot of pressure because I was told backstage that there are end-of-year awards for Best Walkout.
There are.
And I thought, I've got to either roll on the floor or kick my shoes off.
Yeah.
And I went with shoes.
Yeah.
Because there's paper on the floor.
That was really exciting. I actually turned to Ryan.
She says, watch this.
I said, watch this.
Oh, my
and
gosh.
out you came, and you did not disappoint. That was...
And
Very
Ryan,
nice. You
Ryan,
won.
you're here.
I'm here.
Yes.
We're here together.
my goodness.
Congratulations on a great SNL season
Thank
as
you so
well.
much.
Brilliant.
Is it intensely nerve-wracking, the pace of that show, and to get ready for that show each week?
Daddy, you have no idea.
Tell me.
It is just, because stuff's happening all week. Bombs are being dropped. Friday night, you got to rewrite the thing for
How
the
late
thing.
can news happen to work it into SNL on Saturday night? A minute before?
No, like 4 hours before.
But it can almost
But they
stay up.
tell you not to memorize your lines, right? Because they change sometimes
Everything's
in the middle
changing,
of the
always
sketch.
changing. So yes, actually, it can be the minute before.
Yeah.
And something can. But usually, stuff is quiet on a Saturday night, so that's good.
Yeah.
On a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Sunday morning, it gets busy again.
Now listen, we are big on summer around here.
Yes.
You're a Long
Aren't
Island
we
girl,
all?
right?
Yes,
Do
I'm
you
a Long
love
Island girl.
summer as much as I do?
I love summer. I love summer less than I used to because I have this skin that is not allowed in the sun. I mean, I'm getting a sunburn right now.
Yeah.
My cat hates summer, I'll tell you that.
Why?
He's too hot. He's wearing a fur coat. He's just like this. He breathes heavy.
Do you have air conditioning in your apartment?
I do, and even with the air conditioning, his coat is too thick.
Oh, my
Sweet
God.
thing.
I was saying to Kelly that I find, being a new New Yorker,
Yeah.
that people love to complain no matter what the weather is. People, if it's hot, it's too hot. If it's cold, it's too cold. We can't wait for the heat. Do you settle into any sort of climate that's comfortable?
You got to take it. You take the good and the bad.
Yeah.
If you're going to get to go to Broadway one night and the Metropolitan Museum of Art the next day, you wear a snowsuit and you take it.
But you have to have your sundress underneath the snowsuit because the weather turns on a dime.
It does.
Yeah.
I love the summer, though. I loved going to the beach as a kid on Long Island. I loved collecting shells and bringing them home and letting them start to really smell. I would collect, like, clam shells if we went out to eat and had linguine clams. I would take shells home because I love shells so much and just, like, leave them in a pile on the porch. And my mom would be like, the raccoons will come.
Yeah.
And I would be like, no, Mom, don't touch my shells. They're my shells. But then the raccoons would come.
Did you know that Ryan Seacrest had one of those metal detectors that people had on the beach to find treasure?
Kate?
It makes an odd sort of sense to me.
It does, huh? I'd be out there on the beach every summer looking for treasure. I'm still looking.
Did you ever find
Not
it?
yet, but I know there's stuff there. I read about it all the time online. We'll come back with Kate talking about learning the Australian accent in a new movie, Rough Night. Be right back.
Still ahead online from Orange is the New Black. Uzo and Rough Night.
We both saw the movie last night. There was a moment when I forgot that you were American because you are so good at the Australian accent. How do that? No, I'm serious.
Thank you, Kelly.
How do you do that? That's a hard one.
It's not the easiest one. It's not the hardest, but it's not the easiest. You know, I listened to a bunch of podcasts and I sort of walked around with headphones, talking in an accent, and people just, because it's New York, ignored me, even though I was talking out loud to myself. And actually, the guy who plays the dead man.
Yes.
That's not a spoiler. It happens in the first 20 minutes. He happens to be Australian, and he is the sweetest thing. His name is Ryan Cooper. He's a great guy, and he would sort of like encourage me when I did it really well. He would like take me aside and say, "Good job." And he was at one point, I was having trouble with a line, and he was sort of like lying there, you know,
naked, not talking.
And I got the line, and he like winked at me during the take, and I was like, ah!
No, it is true. We were watching it last night. I said, what it must be like to play the dead guy who's dead basically the whole movie and naked.
Incredible. He studied the art of death.
Yeah.
It's like he was completely limp, and we had to carry him a lot, and he was no help. But
it's always interesting though when you see people who are playing dead and you look at their stomach to see if they're breathing, and somehow he would do it even when he wasn't on camera. He would just not breathe with his and he was just so incredible.
So you play Pippa, and you get together with a group of girls you went to school with, and all of the bad things happen on a bachelorette party.
Scarlett Johansson's getting married, right?
All her friends from all walks of life gather.
She wants to be a politician, so everything goes wrong.
It's really bad. I mean, guys, it really goes wrong.
It goes as bad as wrong as it could. Have you been to any bachelorette parties in your young life?
You know, I've only been to one.
Was it a wild?
It wasn't that wild. Well, it was at this dance lounge, and everyone was sort of like dancing, and then out of nowhere, a woman with an electric violin climbed onto a table and just like was doing this like nasty electric violin rock solo, and I thought, that better be planned.
Yeah.
She better have not snuck that electric violin in here and just, of her own volition, got up on the table and started playing a nasty solo.
So was that in lieu of a stripper, an electric violin?
No strippers, just this virtuosic electric violinist, in tight pants. The tightest pants you've ever seen on anyone with a stringed instrument.
It should be illegal.
That's incredible.
Rough Night in theaters this Friday, June 16th.
Coming up next, Uzo Aduba's here. Stick around.
love.
How's it going?
I'm great. How are you?
Super
Happy
good.
to see you.
You too.
It's like it's family day when you come here. You always bring your sister.
Yes.
Chichu is. I see her over
Chichu's
there.
over
Is she there?
She looks gorgeous.
In the hot pink?
Cheech?
Yep. I love her. I love her. When are you going to bring your mom here? That's. I want to see the tree that started the apples.
Oh, well, she's home, I know, right now, watching. She loves
What do you think
this show.
she's saying right now?
She's like, my daughter, I cannot believe it. That's what she's saying. She's like, on the television. You know, she's like, loves Live with Kelly.
She does?
Oh, my gosh, are you kidding? Yes, my mom watches religiously.
And what does she think of Ryan?
And she knows Ryan
She
is like
knows-
the
yeah,
new
I know.
addition. She's like, I love all of this happening.
Oh,
She
good.
loves this show.
Is she beyond proud? Is that her
Beyond.
Yeah.
spot?
Beyond.
She just can't believe it, right?
She can't believe it. Like, I remember my mom used to come up to New York when I was, just starting in all of this,
Right.
and my fridge would be empty. And it would be like, and she'd be like, this like, Nigerians, we feed our kids. And so
Right.
she was like, why don't we go to the grocery store? And just kind of like could not believe her child is choosing this life. So it's like, I say, you're choosing this for yourself, So when this all happened, I think it just set her mind at ease,
Yeah.
Yes.
that she could sleep at night a little easier.
Because you went to BU,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And you were recently asked to give the commencement speech.
Yes.
That's
you just
great.
did it. I follow you on Instagram.
Yes.
So I know that you just gave a commencement speech. What was that like?
It was, well, first of all, leading up to it was the most nerve-wracking
So
thing.
they asked you to do it.
They asked me to do it. I get an email from the dean who I love, I'm very close to, and I think like she's just sending a, hey,
Ready for the next season.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Email, it's like, hey, got a great idea. Why don't you come and give the speech at graduation? And I was like, what are you talking about? Like,
Right,
why?
right.
Oh, it's an easy conversation about life. Let me talk about life. And so, like, instinctively, I just jumped on the internet and went on Google, and I started, like, Googling, like, birthdays and boat christenings happening on that date to be like, unfortunately, I'm unavailable.
It's a lot of pressure.
Exactly. Like, there's a Gerber baby. I need to do something with the child.
So what did you come up with? What was the message?
The message supremely was just about fear, because as afraid as I was to do it, I realized, oh, well, now I have to do it.
Right.
And I remember sitting in that seat like these kids, feeling so nervous about the unknown and what was coming next.
Right.
And I was like, I have to go and do this now. I'm afraid. They're afraid. Let's go and be afraid together and just work this out.
But that's what works. I mean, you connected on a level that they could understand and sent a great message. And it's a lot of pressure, though, when they've been through all those years of school and they're looking at you to give them the message for the next chapter.
Yeah, but you know what you realize when you step out of it? It's like, oh, I do have something to say about this, because when I came through and I did it, I realized fear is not real, except when it comes to sharks and snakes. But it's really not real. You build it up in your head, and you're wondering what the next step is going to be, but actually you should jump in and try and give it every effort, and it's worth it. It's worth it.
See, Mom? Listen to that. When we come back, we'll find out what's different about the new season of Orange is the New Black. We'll be right back.
That's why you have those Emmys. That's where Emmys come from. That is how Emmys are made.
Oh, my gosh.
Just like that. So what's up with Crazy Eyes this season?
Suzanne, well, first of all, she's in a green jacket.
Right.
Let's start there.
By the way, the jacket is dope.
It's a sick jacket.
Do you get to keep that?
I mean, I hope.
Okay.
I'll take it if they'll give it to me.
Yeah, they need to.
I'll give it to me. I'll take it. Suzanne, this season. This season takes place over the course of 3 days, which is new. Normally we do the show and it's 3 to 4 months, so the timeline has shrunk. So we're really sitting in the riot prison. This is riot prison this year. And no spoilers, but information. Power changes hands, and it goes into the hands of the prisoners. And that's true for Suzanne as well. Her power struggle is, where's her mind at? And she is empowered and given the power of her mental state, and it's interesting to see what she does with it.
I was reading an article about the new season, and they were saying it's the most extreme so far.
Yeah.
Why?
I would say it's the most extreme so far because the tension is unrelenting. It's, my castmate, Natasha Lyonne, it's like, even as intense as it is and there's still comedy, she talks about it's like a funeral giggle.
Yeah.
This feeling like,
Yes.
but this year, you never forget that you're at the funeral, that you're in the prison, that these women have been putting up with some pretty extreme circumstances, and that everybody's reached their threshold
Yes.
at once.
Their breaking point.
Exactly,
Yes.
and that's where it comes from.
Kelly's got me training to have kids, and as part of my training, I'm watching Sesame Street. And they're doing something on Sesame Street
Yes.
called Orange is the New Snack.
Yes!
My favorite.
You guys, oh my God, yes!
Is that googly eyes?
Yes! I love that. My friend who just had a baby had texted that to me because he was watching, my friend Jesse, he was watching it with his baby. And he was like, I just saw that. And I was like, what is this?
I've got to tell you, that is the most important thing ever. To become a Muppet on Sesame Street is pretty much the penultimate thing you can have happen.
Yeah, I've won. I feel like I've won. I thought it was the coolest.
Orange is the New Black Season 5, available on Netflix.
Ryan's dad can help mend his
The inbox. Where should we begin?
I'm just going to read this. I'm just going to read this. I'm going to leave out your last name to protect you from yourself. Brandy from Fredericksburg, Virginia said, "It's okay, Ryan. The same thing happened to me years ago. I was working backstage and walked up to Reba McEntire and asked her if she knew where Reba was. She said, 'Hun, you're looking at her.' And to make matters worse, I said, 'Oh, you look so different without your makeup. Not as pretty.'"
Ooh, that's uncomfortable. All right, so yeah, when you mistake somebody for somebody else, you run into them. This is from Mouse in New Hampshire. She says, "I once hugged and kissed on the cheek a guy I ran into at a grocery store who I thought was my new nephew-in-law. Turns out it was the guy behind the counter at the pizza shop I went to every Friday with my girlfriend." That's embarrassing.
That I understand.
I feel you.
I get
feel
that. Robin Stass from Absecon, New Jersey said, "Hey, come to Atlantic City. Slot machines, one-handed, perfect."
Yeah. These are ideas from my
father. He can also use the button. Just put, now they have a button.
You just go like this with the elbow. He's got 8 pins in his hand, and so he's frustrated, doesn't know what to do. Went to the baseball game. The Braves lost. But Joe Ellen in Connecticut says, "Tell your dad to do a wine tasting tour of the local wine trail. One-handed activity, not a lot of physical activity."
Yeah, but then if he has too much wine, he could fall down and break something else.
I think it's worth a try, though.
Antoinette said, "How about bird watching?"
Okay, nice. All right, that's good. That'll lead you right to the wine. Tell Ryan's dad to take up adult coloring.
Yes. A lot of adults are coloring now.
What is adult coloring? Is that coloring things that are adult images?
Yes, and you know, no. It's coloring books for grown-ups. Coloring books for grown-ups.
Thank God.
But I did for my birthday receive a book of all nude men that you could paint by numbers, which is also fun. We'll be right back, everybody. Stick around.
If you'd like to know more about anything you see on live, log on to our website, kellyandryan.com.
Bathing suit. And Joy says, "We definitely need you to do that because it will go viral." So if you're at the beach this summer,
Give you a virus.
get the hairy one.